Hello, and welcome to another video upload of mine. This time I'm going to show you guys around a project I'm working on quite a while actually, or at least quite intense. It's my latest project. It's called SCP Facility 667. It's a playable mission. That's when I state in front of it. But the entire map you're gonna see is custom made. Especially for this mission alone, and even gonna make this a standalone map as well eventually, maybe, if people like it, yes or no. Just note beforehand, this map is still really hard work in progress, so everything basically that you can see can change. It's not even finished building the map, but I just wanted to showcase some stuff I've made so far to show you guys what kind of environment I try to set and to keep you guys updated on what I'm doing currently with Arma. So without further explanation, I'm just going to show you guys around and let me know what you think about it. But just for short, I will try to tell things a little bit short because I don't want to spoil a lot about the current story that's written down before this lore. But I will try to tell on each area a little bit like what's it gonna be like to give you an idea. So this is basically the starting area. The MTF team, that's player's gonna be basically landed here with the mission to find out what happened with this SCP facility, why it's not responding anymore. So everything's gonna change, but you have like arsenals over here. It's like it's a little helicopter. So the player base starts here. It's showable in a valley. So without spoiling too much, the front door is locked, so the players need to find their way around. Find their way around to get inside the facility. There are no really so information placed around the map. But I will show you guys. If you guys want to play the mission later on, I advise you not to watch the entire video because it may contain spoilers or may not. It's still every work in progress, but this kind of part is like already, like the ID is already set on. Like the player base cannot go through the front entrance and need to find their way, which is of course hidden, this passage. If you guys also want to showcase something special, just let me know in the comments so I can give Adamir more information or make a special video about it. But I hope this video is already like a little bit self-explanatory. But we shall see. Just let me know what you think about it. So this section of the map is basically the starting setting up. It's kind of like a mining area a little bit. Like they're digging tunnels to make more rooms for SCPs or for anything that the facility needs to expand, because it's quite a new site. It's still part in development as well, but they're already holding SCPs. I'm not gonna spoil which SCPs they have so far, but you'll notice later on in the story when you play it. or when I make more videos about this. Not every area is as much detailed yet as this one, because it's still, like I said, very work in progress. Some areas are developed more than others. Others is basically more like a blueprint, like how they should continue their path. I made a few areas already, like how they could walk, like how they need to proceed the mission. But for example, I didn't fill in the details like little props yet. So if some areas look really empty or really dull, keep in mind it will be adjusted, and I will make more posts about it eventually. So this is actually the area where the player base is actually going to enter, or when you as player going to enter the facility. Like I said, some areas are more detailed than the other ones. This is actually a quite detailed area already. Personally, I think working with the lighting is costing me most time, because I need to place the lights as good as possible to bring the right atmosphere. Because basically placing these rocks is kind of easy to do, but giving it the right edge to showcase what it is and what kind of atmosphere to set in, it really takes time, actually. Most time takes also because Arma 3 editor doesn't really pre-render lights, so I cannot see it in the editor itself how it shows up. So every time I place, for example, a light, I need to test it, like see how it looks in game. So to make sure that the mission is not too dark but not too light as well, to keep it a spooky, creepy atmosphere. That's my goal, actually, to create a creepy atmosphere. So some doors are already scripted, just for ideas I've went. And the player base to open, for example, a door that's basically locked. That door is locked. I didn't really show you, but you cannot really interact with it. The door doesn't do anything. It doesn't even show up the icon. But because of these switches, I can basically open the door from up here. So if we do this. Yes, no. So if we do this, the door is now unlocked. Let me show you a little bit of the details. I think I redesigned this area, especially under this, I say it, resting place for the workers. I think already 5 times. I'm happy with this result because it fits the right atmosphere. But like I said, everything can change, basically. But I need feedback from the community, what people like and what people don't like. Most of the map is built with the SciTech mod that provides actually with a lot of walls, lights, objects. So now we can open the door. And another mod I use is the Generous Redux mod. It basically gives me a lot of length tiles, and it also gives me water elements to use, which also will be used on later on. So people cannot enter this door, so they need to find another way to proceed. Gladly for them, something blew up this wall or broke this wall. My goal was basically to build an SCP facility that I would be happy with to make and to release. So that's why I use the mods to make this mission. That's why I choose some big mods, SciTech and Generous Redux, for example. Actually, I think both of them to make this sofar, because they can provide with the right atmosphere, the right objects, to make something I think people will enjoy. Of course, the people are there to show me that, but to tell me that if they've actually enjoyed it or not. But I hope so. So what I also really try to do is, when building levels and providing actual depth for the players. This is, by the way, a transfer area that will basically when you stand for example 4 seconds in the area. I'm still going to change the script because I'm not happy with it yet. It's basically when player base is in this, it's like a shaft going from one area to another. And you can override the doors with this console, which unlocks after 4 seconds when the player base is in this area. You can unlock this door, so now I can open this door. What I really like is making multiple levels of depth. For example, the player base walks on this level, but they have something to see underneath them. They see multiple MTF, multiple security guards from SCP. They're currently dead. What caused it is for them still unknown. So this is my biggest part I've worked on yet. It's called the descent. To give the players a false kind of hope is because people like to follow light. That's how you tell where a player to go. So now we see a light and an elevator, but the road is blocked. We cannot go this easy way. So now the player base needs to look around for a other way to get further into the facility. So while looking around, we see over there, we see a ladder. I'm going to highlight a bit. This is more like the basic build-up, so not very much detail is still in here. It's more like big objects, so I know where the player base needs to walk. The lighting in here is still not done, but it's a lot of work to do. Especially because every light is hand placed to make sure I get the most effect of it. So you can actually see all the way down there. It actually goes further than that. So you start up there and you need to go all the way down at least. That's what I'm hoping to signal with this. This door, where the dead soldiers are behind, sorry for the night vision, is also unusable. This area still needs like a lot of detail work, but I think the basics of this area is pretty much done. So this is the descent. Like the name suggests, it's the way down. And sometimes going down is the way forward, especially in this facility. Okay, before we forget that we need to go in here. There's a door here. I still need to add more lighting here to make it more clear. But that's something still in progress. I try to prevent as much as the most boring hallways, like only straight ahead with no depths or no changes. Like I try to make it like the player cannot guess what's going up next. I try to prevent that. This is a part that's still heavily work in progress. I'm currently not happy with what is currently right here. I want to change that up a lot. But this is going to be like a machinery room. So the lighting in this area is not done yet. I'm still working on it. Let's get a little bit away from the machine. As you can see, some areas are pretty dark yet because we still need to do the lighting. Some lights are already placed, but it's more like what I'm going to do with this. So over here I've got the idea to place a red light with something that the player base can or need to grab to proceed, or that they can get extra. So they see something very shiny over there, basically. And to get the shiny, it's like, oh, it's a fence off, we cannot reach it. But later on they can reach this area. Not every area is gonna be reachable. For example, this area will not. I will place a fake door still around there or something like that, or I need to edit this a little bit more. But if you go over this side, I'm going to activate night vision because I placed 0 lights in this area. Over here is actually next room. Here, if you go in this room, you're actually getting back towards that red light. So here you are, right where you want it to be. So over here, it's still very work in process, but here I'm also going to do more visual storytelling, etc. To also tell like what happened, etc. Again, lighting here is not done yet. It still needs a lot of work. In this area are multiple small rooms. Basically going to use them as closets, basically, for stuff. This also needs a little bit of extra work, this area. but it's also like a little thing that the player base can look at, or it's adding some extra space in the room. It's not like really playable space, but more like there's more layers of depth to show to the player base. It's like this, there's more than the player base can see. At least I want to give them that impression. Another room. So over here, as you can see, we came up from up there, and now we are up here, a layer lower. Oh, by the way, this door that you can see, I don't know if it's really visible on the stream, but or at least on the recording, but this door is fake. I'm going to place multiple fake doors, so also add extra layers of depth. Also over here is like an area that you can see exit, and it's like a machine kind of thing. I still need to work a little bit on this area, but to show you the idea, like there's more layers than the player base is getting into. At least I want to give them that impression. So I think we can see the yeah. If you look really well, you can see the bottom of the pit, basically descent. So we're getting there slowly. As you can see, it came up from where the light is, over there. And we're now over here. So again, a little bit of storytelling. Is this what you're gonna see up next? I'm quite happy with the result I currently have with this area, like with the burning room, because it will tell you the player base a story, basically. Like it fills in like it not really fills it, but it gives more questions like what happened, what caused this. So this area is still heavy under progress. I still need to make like a special kind of doorway over here. Long story short, the player base needs to activate another switch on the other side of this window. So yeah, that's basically what I was doing. Okay. Over here we have like a staircase. Like I said, I still need to design this pretty much with lights and with objects, wires, pipes, etc. So that's what I'm going to do just with the flashlight on the weapon. It's still heavily work in progress. Again, trying to fill in some depth, get multiple layers into one room. basically what I'm trying to do here is basically show the player base where they need to go next. So they can see this bridge kind of thingy. That's where they should head up next. The next area you're going to see is still heavily work in progress as well. It has some more elements in it, but I still need to fill in the smaller details. And we'll see. So this room is going to be designed as a combat room. It's going to be like a large combat area for the player base to fight in. Trying to also give something for the eye pleasing. So there are multiple layers on this battle area basically. So we have a higher ground over there. We have like a pool-ish kind of thingy here that cools down this reactor. We have stairs over here. We have small house objects in here. And we also have this room over here. This is also going to showcase a switch, basically, that they need to flip, but to reach that switch they need to go over all the way. So what I'm going to do is also, the player base can basically go from different sides towards the door, but they can already see what's in the next area ahead by these windows. So they can like have a small peek of what they can expect. For example, this is just for notice again. This is still heavy work in progress. This basically gives the player officially like, hey, you need to go there. To open this door, they need to activate the switch. Is basically if you follow these stairs. There's a small house over here, but it's not really important for the switch part. You need to go there. So over there is basically the first platform. What they basically see when they enter the room. This is where they need to be to open the door. I still need to make the script, and I still need to copy the script from the other door to this one as well, and place a switch to make that also happen. But that's basically I'm trying to give the players as much as possible hints, like where to go next or what they could do, or like I'm going to present them like a little bit extra, you know. Can I do this? Probably not, but okay. So now we go in this room. Still work in progress. You have pipes going over your head. You have these things in here. Let's see. Yeah, you can because the lighting is not done yet in the area below it. You cannot see through it if without flashlight. With flashlight, I will show you. There's an area below it, which the player base like again they can see where they need to go. They can see like, oh, there is something over there. Maybe we should check that out. And during their path further in, they see more of these windows, which let's call them windows. Like that gives them basically a visual hint, like there's something below you, you need to check it out. So over here is the door that I need to open to continue with the mission. But before they can do that, I need to go in here, go a little bit deeper. This area is still heavily work in progress. I need to place pipes, etc. To make it look interesting. But this is what I have so far. Trying to give it an extra creepy atmosphere as well. Like you can see, basically, if they, for example, if your friends are walking on the next upper level, they can basically see them. So it's also a nice visual cue to each other. Like you can see here, you can see through the fence because there's lights in the other way, just to show you that you can actually see through it. So if you go over on the left side, we've entered the large room that you can see before you even went through this area. And over here there's going to be a console that I need to interact with to open the door that you need to proceed with the mission. Over here I'm basically just going to build something to fill in some extra space and to give the extra depth towards it. Let me just speed up this part. So yet again, keep in mind every light is manually placed, every object here is manually placed through the entire mission to hopefully put down the perfect environment of the SCP facility that I'm trying to make. So this next area is heavily work in progress. So I'm just going to skip through that part a little bit and just show you the last part I want to show. For example, what I first do, you can basically see it, is place the floor. This is a staircase, basically the same copy-pasted from the last one I've made, but a little bit shorter because it's a short distance you need to walk to get through the desired level. Keep in mind there still need to be walls around here, details, etc. But this is the area I wanted to show you, the last area I wanted to show you guys. Here's going to be placed an arsenal for people to rearm and rekit or get their shit done. So the player base needs to continue further, and that's when I'm going to enter the next level, and it's called the sewers. I'm going to show you the bottom of this pit. I still need to place lights here, but I think it's pretty cool, in my opinion. What you see here is basically the debris from all the way up there that fell down. Because if you have the angles right, you can actually... I cannot really reach it with my gun, but Up there is the broken bridge, and if you let those pieces basically fall, they will shoot or land around here. Oh, let's keep flash it on. So this is basically what I worked on as a transfer room from this facility, like this factory kind of part of the map of the facility, like the factory part, like the where the engines are, like the power stations, etc., to the sewers that I need to cross to get into the next area, and that's actually this area I still need to build, and it's going to be called the sewers. And after the sewers, I'm going to make like the official like SCP kind of rooms from the SCP mod that is released on the Steam Workshop as well. So basically the player base needs to go through a lot of spaces to get deeper inside the facility to reach the actual facility itself, where you basically get the most lore out. So this is still heavily work in progress, but it's just to show you guys what I'm doing. So this is the end of the video. Let me know what you think about it, if you like it, dislike it. Also let me know what you would like to see, or what I missed or so far, or just let me know anything. I read every comment, I read everything on Discord, on YouTube, on Steam, so just let me know. Have a good one, and thanks for watching.